Welcome back to Hands-On with TRM. This will be a series of videos covering reloading, tactics and other concepts of that nature. Today we're going to be talking about magazines and my preferences, gear and my preferences, and then start a discussion on Workspace. Magazines. I prefer to use the Worker 12-round magazines, the PMags. I like the length. They actually hold 14 to 15 rounds. 15 rounds is pretty uncomfortable, but 14 is quite comfortable. The modifications I do to them are as follows. 1. I number all of them, 1 to 9 because I carry 9 magazines. 2. I add a Magpul or a Magpul knockoff 7.62mm NATO Magpul. 3. I install a TRM Industries follower. This aids in both recognition of what magazines are mine while on the field and also recognition of an empty magazine through the jam door while playing. Why do I prefer the Worker 12-round magazines? I prefer them because they're a lot shorter than Nerf Ep1s. They're even shorter than the F10 555 15-round PMags, which is still quite good, and I run a full set of those before converting to these. Most aftermarket magazines feature a stronger follower spring, which just makes me more comfortable when I'm using them. This, I believe, is far too long to be used effectively or quickly during reloads. Of course, you're going to be reloading slightly more with Worker mags, but you'll be doing it so much faster, I believe. Given the way that I reload, using these actually increases the height, so you get more wobble when you're trying to go up into a receiver like that. Additionally, Nerf 18s and most other longer magazines don't fit comfortably within airsoft or real steel dump pouches. Fitting comfortably in a dump pouch includes the magazine being able to sit horizontally so that it doesn't bounce out. If your magazines are sitting vertically within a dump pouch, the odds are that they will bounce out when you run. Of course, you can run your mags vertically in it, but I don't think that it's effective, and you're just going to be leaving a garage sale behind you whenever you're sprinting. Unless there's enough of them in there that they'll retain on themselves, it's usually about 6 or 8 you have to get in there, and that isn't the intended purpose of a dump pouch. Gear. I use Mazzo Factory full stop. It is the best gear in my opinion, without fail. I've used some other stuff, I've seen some other stuff used, I've handled some other stuff, but Mazzo Factory is the best. Mazzo Factory equipment allows me to run primary retention only on all my magazine pouches and holsters. What does that mean? Primary retention is the retention built into the magazine pouch itself without shock cord retention or flaps or a thumb brake for holsters. All of it is of such a high quality that it fits the magazine just snugly enough. This means that I don't run any shock cord, which means my reloads are faster. Additionally, in the holsters, same thing, it's a foam backed system that will actually mold to the shape of your blaster after a little while. So when you first get it, it will be quite tight, but you've got to break it in for about a week or so and then it will be perfect. Now, how do I run my gear? I run 2 magazines on my hip, followed by 6 on the chest and a holster on my right hand side. There's also 2 grenade pouches on the right hand side of the vest. I also run on the hip a dart card. It's a Velcro backed set of 10 loops for darts. So the 2 on the hip, these are the speed reload sources. It's faster to go down to the hip and come up than it is to come down to the vest and go up, down and back up. They're both relatively fast in a speed reload sense if you're practiced, but I find that the hip is faster, it's better muscle memory for me, and that's why I use it. Workspace. What is Workspace? Workspace is the space in which you will work through a reload or work on the reload. There are 2 schools of thought when it comes to Workspace. 1 is the box in a box blaster on the shoulder workspace. 2 is the more dynamic blaster in the elbow workspace. I'll work through both of those now for you using a speed reload. 1. The box in a box blaster on the shoulder workspace. You'll be shooting, you'll come down, and the blaster won't move at all. You just insert the magazine into the blaster, moving that box into a box. It's all at right angles, nice and easy. As you can see, the blaster doesn't leave the shoulder and the blaster doesn't really move at all. You're doing all the work around the blaster instead of working the blaster. The more dynamic blaster in the elbow, and my preferred workspace, you bring the blaster down into your elbow like this and bring it up in front of you. This means that you can work through this in your peripheral vision while scanning ahead of you for zombies or players, whether they're pushing you, etc.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it and maybe picked up a thing or two. Be sure to watch some of my earlier videos. These videos aren't meant to be definitive on a subject, but as they build up, they should create a library of helpful Nerf specific tips. Hands-on with TRM videos like this will be releasing weekly on Fridays at or about 2100 GMT.